Hello and welcome to another episode of the Toy Photography Podcast. This is Batman's car, this is Batman, and these are some of the images that I got of these two. So I quite like the images, and this episode of the Toy Photography Podcast is just going to talk about what I used basically and how I did things. So the car's really good. There is a sticker here, and you can see a bit of a smudge here, that sort of held the door in place. Thankfully you can't see the impression left by the sticker in the final images. The problem is Batman does not have much detail. It's a really small undetailed figure. So I didn't really want to feature much of Batman, but I wanted to put him there for context. Really, the car is the star, but Batman should feature. Some of my more favourite ones, I had Batman facing away because this is sort of a better outline than the front. So I took the images with a variety of cameras. I used an iPhone 13 Pro. I did try using this in macro mode, but I wasn't particularly sold on it. I also used this lens, which is an Apexel 100mm macro lens for smartphones. You can see here, this pops off the back. It's got 17mm thread and it fits on this. This isn't the best attachment in the world. And for lighting, I used this light here, which I'm illuminating everything with. I'm just going to pull this into frame. This is like a light panel, and I'll put a link to all the things I use in the video description. Now, why I use this is because I can change the white balance. So this is cool. I set it to really warm. This is warm at the moment, this is neutral. Because I wanted to get an impression of like a street light. I put it above the car, and I then used this light, which is CM25 Cinepeer from Xion. Again, on this light, we can change the color, temperature. So this is very warm, and this is something in between. I put it on a warm, and I sort of had this backlighting everything. So from now on, I'm just going to leave this out of frame, just doing a little bit of backlighting. And then I also use this original Lume Cube, which has 10 levels of brightness. You can't change the color temperature on this, but that's absolutely fine. I didn't care. So this is a very cool and purpley light. So it's a cool temperature light. So I use this to do some front lighting and just sort of add a bit of an outline and a bit of drama. And that's the lighting I used. Now for the background, I used this image, which I generated with AI. And I just put my MacBook behind the car, and I lifted the car up using just a couple of boxes, and then I got in fairly close with the lens on. So most of the good images captured with the smartphone were using the Apexel 100mm lens, and you have to get quite close. You have a working distance of 4 to 7 centimeters. Now obviously using a 100mm macro lens on a smartphone, not everything is in focus. You can't do focus bracketing or anything, so you get a very shallow depth of field. Now in some ways I didn't like that, but in other ways I thought it did match with the sort of look of the most recent Batman film from which the car is from, The Batman. So in many ways it didn't matter. So I did have quite a shallow depth of field, and it also meant that the AI image at the back just got completely blurred out, which was quite good. Once I'd used this lens, I used my Sony a6300 with the 30mm macro lens, and here I had a very similar thing of I wasn't able to get a huge depth of field, but I wanted to make sure the car was the star. And for my more favorite images from this camera, what I did was I focused more on Batman and I illuminated Batman, and these are the images I got. I just did something slightly different because I was able to really shift the focus, and I could move the focus and I could change the aperture and do quite a bit more with this lens compared to a smartphone. So something I really like with the Sony images is that you get the reflection of the background in the screen itself, but I managed to do it because I had an actual background, so it does add an element of realism to the photo, which I think is really good. I didn't use the native camera app. I used Halide app. I'm currently trying that out. I'm using Halide 2 at the moment, and I think that is really quite good for macro, although you do have to pay for it. With the images I took with the smartphone, I always feel if I shoot on smartphone, I should edit on smartphone. So that's what I did. And I am really pleased with the results. Do let me know if you want me to do a review of this lens in terms of using it for macro photography. And do let me know if you want any specific information about the shoot I did. I'll put all the links to the products in the video description. Have a nice day. Goodbye.